So, welcome back to part two of this context film about mice and men. So, we've just talked about the idea of the Great Depression and the problems that that brought for people working in America, and particularly for the poor who found there was no work available, and it was very, very difficult times for people to survive and to get by. This is about the time that Of Mice and Men was written and published. It was published in 1937 when all this was going on. Okay, when these was common. So what's Steinbeck's point? And specifically, what does the character of Lennie suggest about it? Now, I don't mean what is his own view of it as a character, but what does he represent or show about Steinbeck's views? Does he suggest, and you need to decide this, I can't tell you this, but some ideas that people have written about in the past, that the American dream is actually an illusion, that it's something which is given to people, this hope, this opportunity, but in reality, unless you're kind of rich to start with, it's very, very difficult to get richer and to get the dream. So the idea of social mobility, which means becoming kind of richer if you start off poor, changing your social class, is a dream doomed to end in disaster for most. Is that what Lennie shows? Because obviously he has a bit of a kind of gruesome and unfortunate end. Is that what Steinbeck's trying to say? Remember that Lennie's dream is so important to him, isn't it? He invests so much time in the novel, thinking about and talking to George about the dream, about the rabbits. Is Steinbeck suggesting that actually it's not true to say that the American dream means that everybody's got an equal opportunity? Lennie clearly is sort of held back by his circumstances, held back by who he is, and can't access the opportunity and success and prosperity that the American dream is supposed to offer. Is it suggesting then that actually some people don't have access to these opportunities? You need to decide. We'll discuss it as well in class, but then you need to write about it. So how do you write about these things? I'll just give you some phrases to get you thinking in the right way, because in your essay, if a single English GCSE, you're going to write a single paragraph about this, giving your view. Starter sentences might be, in my view, the character of Lennie represents, and finish off that paragraph. Through Lennie, Steinbeck seems to suggest that Lennie could be argued to represent a protest about. The importance of Lennie to Steinbeck's message is that, and you guys need to finish that off. How do you do it? Well, okay, skilled paragraphs are going to clearly explain the links between the character of Lennie and Steinbeck's message, or what you think that is, and show some understanding of, for example, the American dream, of some elements of context. Excellence, again, as usual, as always, is about increasing detail, sophistication, and being precise in your understanding of context. Showing exactly what you mean. So this, Lennie shows that everyone actually can't achieve their dreams in America, so the American dream isn't true, is a fairly limited engagement with context. That's kind of, a lower band score, really. For excellence, we're looking for something which is really well expressed, which is detailed, developed, and sophisticated. Okay, so you need to have a crack at doing that, writing that paragraph, using the sentence starters in your controlled assessment, or you can use different sentence starters, but these are a good idea, but a good way to get yourself started in a fairly sophisticated way. Okay, to conclude then, what are we saying? We're saying we need a paragraph in your response which talks about what Lennie shows about Steinbeck's message. Okay, what does the character of Lennie, suggest or represent or symbolise about Steinbeck's message? And I think it'd be a good idea, at least to start your thinking there, in the direction of the American dream, what that means, and what Steinbeck really thought of it. Brilliant. Off you go.